Hello everyone, I'm Diksha and welcome to Inside the Leader's Mind. Today we have with us Gopikrishnan Konnanath, Global Head of Digital Enterprise Applications at TechM. Gopi has spent over 30 years shaping enterprise technology and we are excited to hear his insights. Welcome Gopi.
Thank you, Diksha.
We'll move to our first question answer round. Gopi, many organizations still run critical operations on legacy systems. What are the biggest challenges companies face when modernizing their enterprise applications?
Diksha, I'll put it in two different areas. One is the evolution of the technology and the industries itself, and the second is the complexities associated with those. In my experience and in my career, I have seen the evolution of modernized technology has happened in certain industries faster than others, more because it is driven by the necessities and more because some of these industries have changed their operating models and changed their business process models in advance. Right? For example, if you look at a lot of manufacturing industries, high-tech industries, they were the first to adopt into the ERP era from the traditional legacy bespoke applications. And that is because the ERPs gave them a mechanism to modernize their business process, get more standardization in their business process, more predictability, and so on and so forth. So when we say organizations have a reluctance to change, it is also based on how the industries have evolved. Now, why don't some of them change and what is the difficulties in changing? Again, I'll put it into two areas. One is associated with the technology and business process, and second is the cultural element of it. So if you look at a lot of organizations who have not changed, and it could be in many sectors, one is about the complexity of their current ecosystem. Things are running, so why change? And the ownership of different sets of applications is with different people. The deep-rooted understanding of some of these is not documented. So there is a reluctance to change that because why fix when something is not broken, right? So that is the first part of it. Subsequently, I think a lot of people are worried about business continuity, right? It requires a boldness to change and it requires boldness to disrupt something for a better good. And I think that reluctance to change and the reluctance to disrupt a business is something that becomes very critical in decision making. Of course, then comes whether you have the right kind of skills, which is not a big deal today because a lot of people have found the skills, whether within themselves or within organizations like Mahindra, to support them in the transformation journey. But it becomes a big and very important point. But skills is not just about technology. It is also about understanding the business context and doing the technology in the right way. The next part is there is a tech debt at scale. The famous thing that I've seen is people continue to build more inefficiencies on top of it, which means that at scale, you are struggling with the different technology implementations that you've done, which is not optimal. But to make it optimal, you have to do an entire transformation. I think these are the technical challenges that people face in a broader level. And the cultural side, of course, is about ownership, the reluctance to adopt to the change, and the fear of losing jobs. All these elements also play a role. But unfortunately, the reality is if you don't do it, someone else will do it and go ahead of you in the same industry and you will become a loser. The issue that everyone has to understand is how do you deal with these levels of complexities? So the best way to drive any transformation, it has to be driven with a business focus and a business imperative on mind. And then the technology evolution and the changes and the transformation will be more effective.
That's very insightful. So moving on to our next question. There's increasing discussions around the idea of autonomous enterprise, where AI can manage workflows and decisions. How close are we to that reality at Tech Mahindra?
Autonomous is an evolution. It's not you switch off something and move into the other aspects of it, right? So the evolution of moving into autonomous requires multiple things. You have to somehow move from the traditional automation. I feel the first thing is the culture of the organization. Then a connected enterprise needs a connected, strong, interconnected data. On top of it, you have to orchestrate the processes which becomes connected. There are processes within a particular system. A lot of organizations have it sorted. They are connected. but how do you make the entire enterprise connected? I think that becomes important. Once you have the data and process, you have to build the systems, which is the technology element that has to come in. And then, of course, the change management that has to happen. If you ask me on Tech Mahindra, I think we are in the beginning of that journey. We are building the connected enterprise. We are making sure that there is a data element that gets interconnected, which is in process, whether it is in HR, finance, other processes in the organization. But I think we have still some way to go to become autonomous enterprise. We are trying to bring the best practices, what we learned here, to within the enterprise. We have created our own LLM. We are creating things, but how much are we able to adapt those internally to our systems? We have to do more on that. So we are automating things, but we are still far away from becoming an autonomous enterprise. It is about trying to stay ahead of the curve. And the important thing for us to stay ahead of the curve is we have an understanding on where to go. And that is the core part of building a culture.
Thank you for that insight. Let's move to our next round. And here I'll give you two options and you have to pick one that resonates with you the most. Cloud first ERP or hybrid enterprise systems?
It's a very tough one, but in the current context, I would still go with the hybrid enterprise systems. I should have said cloud first because I am orchestrating that a lot within the enterprises. But I think seeing the maturity of a lot of organization, we have to look at hybrid enterprise.
Automation or human decision making?
Again, in the current context, human decision making becomes important. We need automation, but in terms of certain key decision points, wherein you have to bring in intuition, empathy, culture, and everything, human decision becomes very, very critical.
Little bit personal now. Mountains or beaches?
Beaches, for sure.
Okay, the last one. Books or podcasts?
Books. I tried many times on podcasts, but it's always been books for me.
Here's a quick rapid fire now. I will tell you a statement and you have to tell me the first thing that strikes your mind. One technology everyone should watch right now.
Orion.
One technology buzzword you think is overused today.
AI first. It's controversial, but I have to tell you.
Yes, of course. A sports you enjoy watching or playing.
Cliche. Cricket. It's always been cricket. Nowadays, I actually watch women's cricket more, especially after Harmanpreet Kaur and Smriti Mandhana and all those people. I just love watching that because it's especially the World Cup win and stuff like that.
It's emotions.
Outstanding. Yeah, absolutely.
One place you always enjoy going back to?
Kerala, hometown, and Mangalore, where I lived a lot of my life. I really love going back. Makes me feel very much at home.
All right, perfect choices. Now we have come to the last segment. What advice would you give to technology professionals who want to build a long and meaningful career in enterprise technology?
I think there are three elements which makes things very important. One is continuous quest for knowledge. Number two, contextualizing the knowledge into real-time situations. And the best thing to do is make yourself the consumer of that knowledge and see what are the challenges you face as a consumer and then try to see how you can use it. And the last part is how do you implement the contextualized knowledge with empathy? Put yourself in the customer's shoes before you act. So these are the three things which I try to do myself. And I would advise, irrespective of what technology you're working on, the quest for knowledge, contextualization of knowledge, and implementing it with empathy makes you a much superior professional.
That's a powerful message, and thank you so much for sharing your journey and wisdom. It has been a pleasure having you today and gaining a lot of deeper insights. To all the viewers listening, stay tuned for our another episode with another leader, because at TechM, we are #Limitless
together.